warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Umar Hafidz from Managemen Business International, and on this video today I will presenting about my presentation called Business Environment. So here's a quick review of my presentation. The first one, we will talk about concept of business and the concept of profit. The second one is we will talk about economic system. The third one is the economic of market system, and the last but not least, economic indicators. Alright, we will continue on the first slide. The concept of business and the concept of profit. If you wonder what is the concept of business and the concept of profit, a business is an organization that provides goods and service to earn profits. And profit are the difference between business, revenue, and expense. So that's the difference of business and profit. The next one is external environment of business. The external environment of business contains 6 parts. The first one is domestic business environment. Second one is global business environment. The third one is technological environment. The fourth one is political legal environment. The fifth one is socio-cultural environment. And the last one is economic environments. Okay, so what is economic system? Economic system is an economic system is a nation system for allocating its resource among its individual, citizen, and organization. Come to the next slide. Factor of production. A basic difference between economic system is the way in which they manage the resource, known as factor of production. And then economic focus on five factor of production. The first one is the labor. Labor is the human resource to make the economic system works. The next one is the capital. Capital is the financial resource needed to operate an enterprise, are known as capital. The third one is entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs is an individual who accept risks and opportunities entailed by operating a new business. The next one is physical resource. So physical resource is, I think, one of the most important, because without this we can't sell anything, right? Except jasa. What do we call jasa? So physical resource is the tangible things that organizations use to conduct their business. Our physical resource can include raw materials such as wood and something like that, office, production facilities, supplies, and computer. Last but not least, information resource. So a business is really rely on information business, such as market forecast, the specialist knowledge of people, economic data, and the currency info. Come to the next slide then. The next slide is type of economic system. So there are 3 types of economic system. The first one is planned economic system. So this economic system is completely relied on governments. The second one is market economic system. On market economic system is where the producer and consumer could control the production and allocation decision through supply and demand. And the third one is mixed market economics. So mixed market economics is planned economics and market economics combined. So that's what mixed market economics is. The next one is demand and supply and market economics. The first one is law of demand and supply. Demand is the willingness, ability for buyers to purchase the product. That's called demand. A supply is the willingness, ability producer to produce a product. So basically the demand is people wanted the goods. Supply is producer producing the goods. The law of demand states that buyer will purchase more products as the price drops. So if the price low, selling will remain high. But if the price high, selling on to the next slide. The next slide is private enterprise and competition in market economy. So private enterprise and competition in market economy is individual pursue their own interests with minimal government restriction in a private enterprise system. So they are individual, something like that. The next one is degree of competition. Economists will have identified 4 degrees of competition in a private enterprise system. The first one is perfect competition, where many small firms exist in an industry where no single firm is powerful enough to influence the price. The example from this perfect competition system is clothing brand. As you can see, there are so many clothing brands that are called perfect competition system. The next one is monopolistic competition. Monopolistic competition is many sellers but also many buyers. So sellers will focus on numerous differentiation strategies such as brand name, design, and advertising. The third one is oligopoly. Oligopoly is an industry has only a handful of sellers. Market entry is difficult because the large capital investment needed to make this. The example of oligopoly is car makers, something like that. The next one is monopoly. Monopoly is an industry or market that has only one producer, so one seller sells products to all consumers. The example of monopoly is PLN. As we know, PLN is used by every citizen on Indonesia. So we could call it monopolistic because only one sellers. The next one is economic indicators. Okay, the first one is economic growth, which aggregate output and standard of living. Aggregate output is the total quantity of goods, service produced by an economic system during a given period. Simply put, an increase of aggregate output is growth. Standard of living refers to the total quantity and the quality of goods and services that can be purchased with the currency used in economic system. The second one is GDP and GNP. As we know, GDP is the total value of goods and services produced within a given period of time through domestic product factor. So GDP is a measurement of aggregate output. The next one is GNP. GNP is referred to the total value of goods and services produced by a national economy within a given period, regardless of where the factory of production are located. The third one is productivity. Productivity compares how much a system produces with the resource needed to produce it, such as balance of trade and national debt. The next one is economic stability. Economic stability result is when the amount of money available in a country is the same as the quantity of goods and services available in one country. So the kind of economic stability is inflation. Inflation is happen when the price on market is remain high and scarcity is happen. The second one is unemployment. Unemployment is the level of jobless among people actively seeking work in an economic system. The third one is recession and depression. Aggregate output is measured to determine whether economy is going through a recession. Recession, we could know recession every 6 months. If every 6 months the indicator is always going down, it means we're going through a recession. The next one is fiscal policies and monetary policies. Fiscal policies is a policy where Bank Indonesia could manage the collection and the spending of revenue, for example, like changing tax rate, and that's the example of fiscal policies. The next one is monetary policies. Monetary policies is policies that used by Bank Indonesia to controlling the amount of money on society. Focus on controlling the size of nation money supply. The government can influence the bank to lend money, can influence the supply of money through stimulus package. Well, I think that's all from me. Sorry if there was so many mistaken in pronunciation and everything. Hope you like my presentation. Wassalamualaikum.